You're part of that pyramid.
I was supporting it till I got there and I started Googling and
It looked nice.
Is it pretty? Google. You
It
just
looked
gotta-
very nice,
this
yeah.
house was massive.
Yeah.
They had pickleball courts in the middle of this 15-acre, a putting green.
Holy cow.
Yeah, soccer field thing.
Did the boys make it to any games?
Paris did.
They were, I'll show you a picture of the movie room where they all slept. It was insane.
How long was your street closed yesterday?
I don't even know, cause I left. I had my hair appointment. I'm like, nothing is stopping me from getting to my hair appointment. So I just drove right through it, but then, I know.
Firefighter.
Yeah.
Well, that would explain why we got 20 people out of water yesterday. Abby calls me, she goes, hey, should I just drive through this water? I'm like, where are you at? And she's like, at the bottom of the hill by Davis Street. I'm like, she goes, yeah, I'll FaceTime you. And she FaceTime, I'm like.
I saw it. It looked much worse on Facebook than it did when I was driving. But it took out. It took out. You know how we have that, the big creek that goes behind and they've got the rocks? It took out like a huge amount of dirt. And just the walls still there. So they came, I was texting pictures to Eddie last night and they came up this morning. We had.
Valley Middle School flooded for the second time
Oh,
in 2
no.
weeks.
Oh, no.
All right.
All right. It's good.
All right, okay, I'm with you. All right, so at 6:30, let's call the July 2024 regular board meeting to order. Please join us as we say the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So first up, we have our strategic plan update. Of the middle school.
Hello,
Hi.
hello. Thank you for taking time on the agenda to hear our strategic plan update from the middle school. I am Angie Siren, and we had a great year, and I will be sharing some highlights with you tonight. When we think about ensuring student success at the middle school, our first goal is literacy, which is the key to all learning and academic success. We use the iReady assessment tool to pinpoint students' current levels in reading and math, and the students take this assessment 3 times, beginning, middle, and end of the year. In reading specifically, after the first assessment last fall, we had 42% of our students that were 2 or more grade levels below in reading where they should have been. We call this tier 3, but by the end of the year, we were able to move 17 of those students out of tier 3 into tier 2. Another way we can use iReady is to look at typical annual growth, which is the average annual growth for student at their grade and baseline placement level for each individual student. And we are happy to report that we had over half of our kids reach or pass their annual typical growth goal. Next year, we will continue our literacy work with Dr. Espenshede being very strategic on pulling small groups for reading intervention during the day. And we're hoping that that will help close the gap in expected and actual reading levels. And then we will also provide professional development to our staff on reading strategies that can be used in all classrooms to help with reading comprehension. It's not going, Josh. Thanks. Continuing with student success, this year was our second year utilizing the professional learning community format where our teachers meet regularly in their content areas, focusing on essential learning, student data, and intervention. This year, we were able to maximize our master schedule to allow our special education teachers to attend PLCs, which brought even more voice and collaboration to the process. A main focus of our PLCs is to analyze student assessment data. The teachers not only used the data for instructional planning, but they also had data chats with the students. So the students sat down, looked at their own data, and made growth goals for the year. The pictures show a reflection activity done in math where students identified with a Post-it where they were with their own achievement and progress, which they then moved as they went through the year. The white graph is a report from iReady that shows overall our students ended the year at high achievement compared to the national norms and the high growth based on the typical growth I explained on the prior slide. And this was true in both math and reading this year at the middle school, which is wonderful. Another exciting highlight of collaboration is that our teachers participated in learning walks. PLCs actually had the opportunity to visit either the elementary or the high school and work on that vertical alignment between content areas. And then our building professional development team also visited different classrooms throughout the year. And we will be continuing learning walks next year as well. Our last goal directly related to student success is about our students and their sense of belonging in our building. Middle school is a time of growth, both academically and emotionally, and it can bring about some self-doubt and questions as where do I fit in with our students? When our students were surveyed in the spring, 62% of them reported being involved in a school club or activity, and 2/3 said that they felt that their families were treated with respect at the school. This year, our SSD staff has started the Best Buddies Club, which is a group focused on inclusion of all students. They had a Thanksgiving feast, a winter holiday party, and a lunch outing in the spring. These events were some of my favorite to attend because of the joy experienced by all of the kids, and it was really heartwarming to see. As a new principal, I wanted to have a way for students to bring their voice to the table on school issues, so we formed the Principals Council, which consisted of 2 students from each grade level. We met during lunch and we discussed all kinds of things from food in the cafeteria to the new modified block schedule to what activities the kids wanted to have during map testing for breaks. And we will also continue this group into next year. We also hosted several social events such as student trivia night, Cocoa and Cram to help study for finals, and mixers, and all were well attended. Our goal for our staff this year was to build trusting relationships with one another. Although most of the staff has worked together for some time, building trust takes time and intentionality. One way we built trust was Classroom Visit Week, where teachers visited each other's classrooms and then provided positive feedback to each other on notes. Having colleagues observe you while you can work can be very intimidating, but everybody jumped in and gave a lot of great feedback and saw a lot of great things. And we are planning on holding a Classroom Visit Week each quarter this year. We also worked with SSD to be sure that schedules allowed our special education teachers to participate in PLCs, which I mentioned, and collaborating around student success builds both teacher capacity and trust. Our building leadership team, which represents different grade levels and content areas, met regularly to discuss topics important to the staff, students, and families. Our final goal was strengthening our communication with our families. I had the pleasure to meet and work with many families throughout my first year as the principal, and I was thrilled at the survey results. Of families who responded, 76% said they felt comfortable approaching administration, and 88% felt respected by the school. I believe these results came from the opportunities we offer to families to be a part of our school community. Twice a year, we have student-led conferences where we had around 65% of our families in attendance. And then we reestablished our PTO this year, and we're hoping to get even more families involved in the future. I sent and will continue to send a weekly Family Hawk Talk newsletter to each family every week. And in the coming year, we're going to be offering another opportunity for families to engage. We'll be hosting parenting boot camp evenings where we will discuss hot topics of middle school families. Some examples could be social media, social emotional needs, and what is normal for middle school. Looking forward to next year, we have 5 areas that the strategic planning team has identified. We will continue growth in the area of literacy, continued growth on PLC identified standards, students feeling increasingly respected by their peers and continued connection to BPMS, teachers seeing progress towards a culture of success for employees and students, and our final goal will be families having even more opportunities to engage with the school. In my experience in the past, the strategic plan has been very administrator focused. To make progress towards and meet these goals, it takes absolutely everyone in the building to be a part of the work. So this year, the strategic planning team will actually be sharing the plan with the teachers when we come back to work in the fall. Excuse me. And then asking teachers to identify areas that they can support either individually as PLCs or as grade level teams. And then we will be evaluating the plan throughout the year at faculty meetings to keep the strategic plan at the forefront of our work. As a reflective leader, I know this year had its challenges. The staff was given a survey to provide their thoughts on my first year as the building principal. The survey provided me with a lot of honest feedback that will allow me to continue growing as an instructional leader at the middle school. There were 3 areas of growth that were identified: communication, visibility, and discipline. The staff has asked for clear and proactive communication from me, and this year I will share very precise expectations of the staff and of myself, and I will be providing updates on various issues in the building. Once a month, I will host Q&A with Angie, a voluntary opportunity for teachers to share questions they may have or problems that bubble up. There will be no agenda other than what the teachers bring. My only ask will be that if a problem is brought to the table, then at least one solution or possible solution is brought with it. I will share all the questions and concern addressed at the session with my responses with the staff. In order to monitor how the teachers are feeling about the communication this year, I will be sending out quarterly short principal surveys, and I will share those results with the staff as well. The second area for growth is visibility. Teachers have shared that they would like me to be in their classrooms more often. I've also identified that my attendance at school and district events is extremely beneficial. In response to these needs, I've developed an observation and feedback system where I'll be visiting classrooms regularly and providing a specific type of feedback for each visit, some formal, some informal. The feedback will be from a coaching lens in order to continue our academic growth for our students. I've committed to attending at least one PLC meeting for each content area and one grade level team meeting for each grade each week. In the PLC meetings, my role will be coach and facilitator, supporting teachers as they answer the 4 PLC questions. And in team meetings, I will be a collaborator as we systematically discuss each student in the grade level based on academics, behavior, and social emotional development. Attendance at school and district events will be a priority as I schedule my time. The final area of need for teachers is putting a system in place to ensure fairness and transparency and discipline management. I have spent some time this summer to refine and streamline the process developed by the staff last fall. After living the process, we found some areas to be cumbersome and inefficient. I will share the updated process with the staff in August when they come back. And the process at this time is loosely aligned to the character-based discipline framework of what to do before, during, and after behaviors appear. The framework is extremely proactive and restorative in nature, which allows for relationships to be maintained while ensuring our classroom expectations are met. I have begun learning about the framework and will continue the learning this fall by attending 3 workshop sessions. I will be taking a teacher to those sessions with me so that we can ensure that we have classroom and school-wide expectations addressed as we adapt our process. After each workshop, the teacher and I will share our learning with the staff. I thoroughly enjoyed my first year at Valley Park Middle School. We have supportive families, wonderful kids, and dedicated teachers. And I am absolutely confident that our upcoming year will be full of success, celebrations, and growth. Any questions for me?
Do you have any questions? No? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, our next item is the approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Second, thank you. First signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Doesn't appear to be any public comments on posted agenda items, so we'll move through that. All right, next up will be our consent items. Are there any items that anyone would like to pull out for a separate consideration or discussion? Okay. All right, so can I get a motion to approve the consent items 5.01 through 5.04?
I'll make a motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay. all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Any public comments on non-agenda items? Does not appear. All right, so I'll make a motion to adjourn to executive session. Can I get a second?
All right.
Okay, Phyllis?
Aye.
Lisa? Aye.